Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys this Larry Bird build on NBA 2K24, and today I'm actually going to be showing you guys two versions of this build. One is going to be the main build that I was using, which is way more of an offensive heavy version of Larry, and the second version is going to be a little bit more of a realistic, more well-rounded version of Larry Bird that had more rebounding and better defense. But with all of that out of the way, man, let's get started with today's video. Let's go. Alright, so let's start off with version number 1 of this build. This is going to be a 6'9" build with a 6'10" wingspan, weight 185 pounds, and we actually ended up going shooting guard with this build. And that was for one very specific reason. I understand Larry Bird did play small forward throughout the duration of his career, but when you make shooting guards in this game, for some reason you get pro dribble style by default, which is a very big thing for us when we are making this build, and I'll explain that in a little bit. All right, so starting things off in the finishing, we're going to get a 92 close shot, which is going to get us hook specialist on Hall of Fame, a 97 driving layup, which is going to get us slithery on Hall of Fame, as well as pretty much every single layup badge on Hall of Fame. And then we're going to get a 92 post control, which will get us unpluckable on goal, post spin technician Hall of Fame, dream shake Hall of Fame, and just a bunch of other really great post scoring badges on Hall of Fame. And as you can see, we also get a 40 driving dunk, which is enough for the CJ McCollum package, which, considering how low your driving dunk is, that is a very nice rating to achieve. All right, but now let's take a look at some of these finishing highlights. And man, listen, this build, just like Larry Bird, is going to be a dominant player out of the post, especially in that mid post, and that layup package is really nice as well. Having that 97 driving layup is going to allow you to hit some crazy layups, as you saw right there. And pretty much every single time you go up with a layup, you're going to have a chance of scoring, as long as it doesn't get blocked. Now listen, I know I didn't pass to the person that was wide open going straight towards the basket. It was an AI, and I wanted to get a clip. I'm sorry. Please forgive me that I did not pass to an AI. But anyways, again, the layup package on this build is absolutely insane. You're going to be able to go up with a lot of stuff: scoop layups, acrobatic layups, floaters, it doesn't matter. Then you can get back into the post, hit the Kobe Bryant post top shot over and over and over again, and just be a dominant force in the post, driving to the rim, hitting acrobatic alley-oop layups right there. That is absolutely insane. Now, with you having such a high driving layup, you're going to have a lot of layup packages that you can use on this build, and the two packages that I have been alternating between are Jimmy Butler and Luka Doncic. Both of them have really good floaters, euro steps, and scoops, which are usually my favorite type of layups to do, and you could just acrobat out of all of those really easily and hit some insane layups. You know, overall, from my limited playing experience on this build, the finishing is going to be absolutely insane if you do make this version of the build. And one thing that I didn't even really get to highlight, because I didn't get enough games with it and I didn't get to really go for it, is the post hooks, man. That 92 close shot gets you that Hall of Fame hook specialist, and it's going to be nasty. All right, so now moving on to the finishing, you're going to get a 93 mid-range shot, which is going to get you catch and shoot on Hall of Fame, midi magician Hall of Fame, post fade phenom on Hall of Fame, blinders and dead eye on gold, guard up Hall of Fame, open looks Hall of Fame. As you guys can see, you're going to get a lot of really great shooting badges with that high midi on either gold or Hall of Fame with that 93 midi. And then when it comes to the three-pointer, we're going to have an 86, which is going to get you Claymore on gold, limitless range on bronze, corner specialist on gold, and it's just going to help you become a knockdown shooter at the three-point line. All right, so now let's take a look at some of these shooting highlights. And listen, man, you're going to be a knockdown shooter on this build, okay? That an 86 three-point shot is going to be more than enough to shoot from three, and a 93 midi is going to be super lethal in that mid-range area when you combine that with the mini magician on Hall of Fame badge. And with that 86 three-point shot, you can also take some shots off the dribble right there. You saw we hit the fade coming out the corner, and that's actually a shot you can consistently hit on this build. We hit it again right there because you do get agent threes on silver with this build. So that's a shot you definitely can take and make in a high rate, as long as you know how to time your shot. You know, I think this build shooting wise is going to be fantastic because you're going to be able to shoot your shots. You're going to be able to hit shots off the dribble, off the catch, out of the post, in the mid-range area, spin shots, fades, whatever you want to do, you're going to be able to hit it. And you obviously can hit from limitless range as well, especially when you do have takeover. And the two big things that I feel like I did mention earlier on, but not with the gameplay, is that when you have your mid-range upgraded this high, you're going to get both blinders and deadeye on gold, which is a super nice thing to have when you're especially fading in that mid-range area or shooting fades out the post, because there are a lot of times where both of those badges are going to pop out, and it's going to help you keep that green window big when you're getting contested on your shot. And since we're talking about shooting, and this was what Larry Bird was known the most for, I want you guys to comment down below and tell me if you guys think that if we somehow, some way, could take Larry Bird and and put him in the modern era, would he be considered an elite shooter? Don't think about what his field goal percentage was or three-point percentage was in the 80s. Let's say we grab him when he's like 10, put him in the modern era, and just, let him learn how to become a basketball player in this era. Do you think he would be an elite shooter? Is it a crazy question? Yes, but answer it, okay? God. Obviously, couldn't show you guys all those shooting highlights without giving you guys the jump shot. So if there's somebody that you see in the comments down below asking for the jump shot, you just know they didn't make it far enough in the video to get the jumper. So with the jump shot today, we're going to be using Tracy McGrady base, which is actually one of my favorite swing jumpers, especially when you have a high midi or three-point rating. And then for the upper releases, we're using Troy Brown Jr. and Kobe Bryant on a blend of 80 to 20 on maximum speed. Yeah, man, jumper's cash. It's a little bit slower than some of the faster jump shots in the game, like your Ben Shepherds of the world, your Nas Littles of the world. So you might shoot a couple slightly earlys when you first use this jump shot, but if you can get used to the timing, it's going to be really nice. All right, so now when it comes to the playmaking on this build, you're going to have a 96 pass accuracy, which is going to get you relay and touch passer on Hall of Fame, needle threader, gold, dimer Hall of Fame, post playmaker Hall of Fame, break starter Hall of Fame. You're just going to have a crazy amount of gold and Hall of Fame badges when it comes to playmaking. And then moving on to the ball handle, you're going to have an 80, which is going to get you silver handles for days, and it's going to be really nice to have. You're going to be able to dribble on this build. Now, the speed with ball is going to be at a 50. Now, listen, if you're a little concerned, you don't want to go 50 with speed with ball, and you want to upgrade it all the way so you can move a little bit faster, be my guest. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. You can move at a pretty decent speed, and you can speed boost pretty well with just having a 50 speed with ball, as long as you upgrade your ball handle up to an 80. Like, I can move on a lock with a 40 ball handle, 40 speed with ball, and get open and shoot midi fades off of that. If you give me 80 and 50, I could do the exact same. Not only that, but with this build, you're going to be scoring a lot out of the post as well, where having that speed with ball ain't gonna do nothing for you. So that's the reason why we also made this at shooting guard as well, is because even though we only have a 50 speed with ball, we still get pro dribble style. Make sure you double check your animations before you put VC into the build to make sure you actually got the pro dribble style. I'm not sure if this is a glitch or an intentional feature for that position, but yeah, it just happened. Now, normally I would be showing you guys more playmaking highlights on these type of builds when I have high pass accuracy, but yeah, y'all just can't hit, bro. You still just can't shoot at this point in the game. Like, I'm finishing games with only 1 assist when I could have easily had 10 to 15 if you guys could just hit wide open catch and shoot shots. Now, I'm not saying you guys specifically, okay? Obviously, I'm not like directly targeting you. I haven't played with you guys. Well, actually, maybe I have. Who knows? But you're the one person that's probably going to say, oh, you only show when they miss, though. You don't show when you miss. Yeah, it's my channel. Guess what? I can kind of do what I want. Not only that, but I've been shooting like 70% from 3 on this build and 70% from the field, so there's not really a whole lot of misses to show anyways. The playmaking's great on this build, man. You're going to get the half diamond or half post playmaker, and by then, maybe I pray to God that my random rec players can hit wide open catch and shoot shots. But hey, who knows? So now moving on to the defense, we're going to get a 64 interior defense and 87 perimeter defense, which is going to get you silver clamps as well as gold challenger, and a 60 steal for bronze interceptor. All right, and now here is the full version of the first build. As you can see, we put a lot into the offense on this build, and there are a couple of changes that you can make if you wanted to make this a little bit more of a realistic Larry Bird build. Larry was a really good rebounder, and he was probably a bit better of a defender than I gave with this build. This is more than likely going to be used for me as like a hash lock type of player, like if you're using like a 2-3 zone and pro-am and stuff like that. So I don't really need to have super high interior or block. Since I'm going to be using this as a secondary ball handler, I don't really need to have rebound because I'm not going to be crashing for boards. I'm going to be running the fast break. However, if you wanted something that is a little bit more accurate to a Larry Bird build than the one that I first showed, here is the second version of the build. You're going to get an 83 defensive rebound, which is going to get you rebound chaser on silver. You're not going to get any block because Larry was not a good rim protector, okay? He didn't really get a whole lot of blocks. He was a good interior defender. He was a great perimeter defender, and he can get rebounds. He was a great hustle player. And then when it comes to the playmaking, pass accuracy's down a little bit, and we ended up moving up the speed with ball to a 70, so you can still get pro dribble style on this build. We ended up making this one a small forward too, which is Bird's natural position. Pretty much everything in shooting is the same. Post control is the same. The layup dropped all the way from a 97 to an 80, but an 80 is still a really good threshold because that's going to get you pro touch on Hall of Fame, which is a very nice thing to have. And we also have more driving dunk on this build. So if you want to dunk on Dennis Rodman in the paint with this Larry Bird build, you can absolutely do just that. All right, so now this build is complete. You're going to come out of the My Player Builder and get player comparisons of Chris Middleton, Michael Finley, and Kawhi Leonard, and you're going to get the build name Diming 3-level threat. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. This was a build that I had a lot of fun playing on. It was actually one of my first like wing players that I used in this year's game, and it was fun, man. But that's it. I'm out. Peace.